usually say, well, let me make sure I have my clicker and everything, because then I forget absolutely everything. I do. Right here. Perfect. Good morning, everyone. That's not good enough. He has the energy. Y'all don't have the energy. Okay, let's go again. Did everyone get cafecito? Yes. Did everyone drink some of the coffee already? It, wow, that energy on Wednesdays. Okay, again, good morning, everyone. I appreciate. There you go. That's the spirit. You know what? You're my favorite. I'm very happy to see you guys today. If you were, for the people coming, there's some spaces over here, guys, on the stairs, and there's a couple seatings on this side as well, if you would like to. It's a pleasure to have you here. How many people here in the room is it their first time here at Million Cubs? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You organized it. I was like, what? Funny part about this is every time the number gets a little smaller, which is kind of good though, because it means that you guys have experiences, you're coming here. But I love to see new people. Before we start, guys, if you were able to enjoy some coffee today, it was actually thank you to AT&T and Business. So if you guys can raise your hand from AT&T over there, thank you so much. This is the first time that someone outside of the community is actually believing in this program. So for me, that speaks volumes. Thank you so much. There's a table over there on the side. Please make sure you talk to them. They have a lot of options for your business. And then I'm very proud that you guys get to do this for the month of May. So let's give it up for AT&T, please. I sound like an influencer. I feel like I'm gonna start saying like, look at my AT&T, like the reviews online. But yes, thank you so much. So without further ado, thank you so much. Welcome to 1 Million Cubs. It happens every single Wednesday, guys. Every Wednesday, 9 in the morning, we get to hear together. And the new ones might be asking yourself, for what? Let me explain you. So it's a very simple program. It's a nationally recognized program, so it doesn't mean like we're not the only ones here. We can pinky promise. We might be the best ones. But every other place in the country, there is a group just like this one, not as nice, not as cool. Kind of meeting, getting to hear some stories, getting to make connections. I asked you guys last week if you know the difference between networking and meaningful connections. And most of you, this is the third time that I'm asking this, and you guys still blank. Okay, let me ask, maybe the new people can help me. Guys, what is the difference between a networking experience and a meaningful connection? Yes. Okay.
Meaningful connection would be you actually sit down and have dialogue and have conversations with that person.
Okay.
Start a relationship.
Gotcha. What else? Someone else?
An opportunity.
An opportunity? Come on, Ed, you can do better than that. Okay, an opportunity. I like that. Someone else? Okay. Trust. Okay. So think about it this way, and this is an example that I give every Wednesday, guys. I know you guys are tired of me. What is the difference between me giving you a business card and me actually say, hey, let me write you an email right here so we can start connecting? Do you see the difference? What happened to a business card?
Goes in the drawer, gets thrown away.
I wash it on my pants. Like that thing has ruined my dryer many times. There's nothing like, hey, let me connect you real quick. Let me send you a message. Let me do this. Or you know what? Tell me what's going on with your business. Let me see if I can fix something real quick. The difference is action. There's an opportunity there. Every time you meet someone, there is an opportunity. How many times do you take that action to actually make the connection that will help you otherwise? I do have a very special activity, so I'm going to cut the intro a little shorter. But in the meantime, like I said, we are 2 speakers every Wednesday. We act as a community support, so you guys get to listen to the conversation, listen to the presentation. You might have some questions. The person presenting might be amazing, and you have no questions whatsoever. But you might have an advice. You might have a nice word to say. There's nothing better than on a Wednesday say like, hey, you're doing great, pal. You know, you can always do that too. And then all of this fun stuff over a cup of coffee. So far we have 4,695 cup of coffees, which for me, that's 4,695 connections we've done over the last 3 years. Thank you so much, Miss Oli. Thank you. This effort is obviously not done by ourselves. We've had great help. I have Armando right there. He used to be the organizer first. Grace, you guys saw her last week. She was an organizer. Idania as well. So this is a group effort and this is a team effort. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but 1 Million Cups is 100% run by volunteers. So technically, it's not part of our job description, but we decided that we see the value in this program, that we want to volunteer our times to be here for you guys. At this time, I want to say, please be mindful of a great speaker's time. They are making an effort to be here just as you guys are. We also understand there's meetings and times, so there's booth around the office. There's also a lobby where you can take a call. Just be courteous. And without further ado, guys, I want to introduce you to Craig Grove. So let's give it up for him, please. Let's go again, because he's still coming. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Here you go, and here's.
Oh, I'm not doing anything. Yeah. Hey, guys. So, I left my bullet points over here. Let me go grab those. Thank you. Usually I totally wing it, and I probably will end up doing that today, too. But I wanted to respect y'all's time and get a lot in. First of all, I would like to take a moment to recognize Daniel and the 1 Million Cups organization. Let's give them a big round of applause. Also, big shout out to all the volunteers and, of course, the sponsors, AT&T. Thank you for being here, guys. Appreciate y'all. It's really important when big businesses come in here and support, our local organizations. So we also want to give them a little bit of love, too. So today, the theme of my conversation is going to be a little bit about just basically going for it. So I think one of the things that we run into as business owners and inspired people who want to start a business or young people. We've got the whole gauntlet here. We've got students. We've got people who've been in business for a long time. We've got people who are just getting started or thinking about getting started. Every one of you guys is in a different phase of your life, and you're obviously here for a reason. You're looking for something, right? And we're always looking for something. So the first thing I want to start with is don't be afraid to just start. One of the biggest problems I see and that I experience myself is the old phrase, paralysis due to analysis, right? That we all think so hard about what we want to do, whether we want to get into real estate, or we want to start a coffee shop, or we want to get part of a national organization like 1 Million Cups. We think, and we don't do, okay? So the first thing I want to tell you guys, whatever phase you're in of your life or your career, getting started or changing businesses or whatever, the most important thing is just to start. That's it. Just start doing things, because the reality is no one else is going to give it to you. It's not going to start without you taking action, all right? So when I moved to Brownsville in 2006, I had the intention of starting a medical equipment company. It was very scary. I know nothing about medical equipment. And we started that company, basically bootstrap, went for it, and we started it, and it was very hard. It was right as the industry was changing, and shortly thereafter, we realized we didn't want to be in that business. And lo and behold, here comes a buyer, right? Amazingly, we were able to sell our business to Valley Baptist. Then again, I was without a job once again, and I didn't know what to do. And I knew that I liked real estate, and my wife encouraged me to look into real estate. So, didn't know anybody, found out later that not knowing Spanish was a big problem here, but I got started. I got my real estate license. That's another thing I want to talk about is going full force. If you want to do something, don't put your toe in and think, oh, maybe I'll make it, okay? If you're going to do it, go for it. The best thing I ever did in real estate was I made it my only option, right? I see a lot of people get into my business and they stay teaching, or they stay in law enforcement, or they stay in whatever other full-time job they had that gave them that security, that safety net. And what happens is when you put, just a little bit of effort into two things, then you do two things not very well, right? So if you can jump full force into whatever it is you want to do. Now, I'm not saying be dumb and just, start some huge business without thinking about it and having money and having reserves and all that. But at the end of the day, going in halfway usually is a recipe for failure, right? So I started real estate with no safety net and got into real estate and started doing business. in 2009. If those of you who've been around a little while know that was right after the Great Recession began. Great Recession occurred in mid-November of 2008. I got my license in December of 2008. I didn't know I was supposed to fail, right? I didn't know that I was supposed to come in there and fail. But the advantage I had of being a brand new agent was this. I didn't have any expectations, right? I just knew that I had to feed my children. I had to pay for my bills. And there was no option but to succeed. So when you put yourself into that position, that kind of forced position of, I have to succeed, it's amazing the things you can accomplish. Like, I look back now and still wish I was that young guy who was just hungry, you know? Just getting up and going every day to the office, 9 to 5, calling people, getting hung up on, getting cussed at, right? Like, hey, are you looking at a house? They're like, do you realize what's going on in the economy? I'm like, no. Do you want to buy a house? And one day, finally, someone said, hey, yeah, we want to go see this house. Still remember it like it was yesterday. Showed them my first house in March of 2009, 3 months into the biggest recession since the Depression. And they were a cash buyer, young couple, smart business owners. They started a business at the flea market, just selling knives. Turned out to be a great business for them. Remember, this is one thing. You always hear people talk about, oh, the economy's not great. I can't do it. Whatever. There's not enough money going around. That is complete BS. There's always money in the economy. It's just a matter of where it is and you to be the one to find it, right? So in their example, they were at the flea market. You guys know, no matter what's happening in the economy, there's always going to be people at the flea market buying stuff, right? So it's about finding that niche. Where is the money? For me, I found that niche. I found, okay, this demographic is still buying, right? So I focused on foreclosures and short sales, and I went after big government opportunities, right? So in my first year, not knowing Spanish, not knowing anybody, not having any connections, I was one of the top producing agents my first year here in Brownsville, only because, number one, I gave myself no choice. Number two, I didn't overanalyze the situation, right? And number three, I didn't have expectations that I would fail. There was no option to me. Failure, as they say, was not an option. I was going to succeed, right? And everybody in here can just make that decision. Like, totally off script at this point. Like, I wouldn't even know where to get back into this. But is it okay? Are we getting all right? So, look, everybody in here can make a decision to be whatever they want to be. A lot of times we hear about manifestation, right? Manifestation, it can be a corny concept, right? But the reality is, it's absolutely 100% true that you manifest your own reality. If you wake up and think bad things are going to happen, bad things will happen. Or things will happen that you will perceive as bad, right? And then you're going to engage with that thing as if it's a bad thing. Someone cuts you off in traffic, right? And you get mad and then you spill some coffee on your shirt. Next thing you know, that just ruined my day, right? Don't ever say that again, because every day you're going to wake up and something's going to happen. You can't change that, right? No matter what you do, something's going to happen that's going to make you have an opportunity to say, oh, I'm having a bad day. And whether that's like in the experience of a single day or your lifetime, you make that decision. Just like you make the decision that you're going to choose to do this or do that. No one's stopping you from succeeding in that thing that you choose, but you, right? So I remember I was sitting in the office one day and one of my agents was on the phone and I told him, I need to make some calls, hit the phones, call, generate some business, because he was complaining that, I don't have any business, And I sat there and I was on my computer listening to him. He's like, hello? Hi, my name's Steve. Are you interested in buying a house? And this went on for like 15 minutes. I said, Steve, you are thinking that everyone doesn't want you to talk to them, right? You're projecting to them as soon as you get on the phone not to like you, right? We've all had those calls from a miserable call center person, right? They hate their job. As soon as you hear it, the first thing you do is like, thank you, but no thank you, right? But every now and then that guy slips through, or lady, who has that vibe. They're like, hey, what's up, Craig? How you doing? I'm good. What's going on? Well, hey, listen, I'm going to be in your neighborhood today pitching these alarm systems. Do you have any problems with alarms? Next thing you know, you're like, well, yeah, there's a break-in down the street. What? It's about the energy that you project into your life and what you do. If you project positive energy and the anticipation that you're going to succeed at whatever that thing is, then the likelihood of you succeeding will be much more increased. But if you believe that you're going to fail, then guess what? You are going to fail. Because it goes back to that concept of manifestation, right? We manifest the reality that we believe inside. So if we believe that we're not going to be successful in teaching or real estate or whatever it is, then we subconsciously take those actions to fulfill what we believe. Does that make sense? So you can decide either way. You are always deciding which way you're going. You're either deciding I'm going to fail or I'm going to win. Now, you might not win every time. You might not. But what does it hurt you to believe that you're going to win, right? So that was one of the things I really wanted to touch on today was don't overthink things. Don't be afraid to go for it. I started from nothing here in Brownsville. I had nothing. I knew nobody. And I decided I was going to do the best I could to succeed in real estate. So in 2012, mainly because I don't speak Spanish, I launched my brokerage. This was after a couple of years of being one of the top new agents. Launched my brokerage and grew it to be one of the largest regional, locally owned, non-franchise real estate brokerages in the whole area, okay? We did $100 million in production the last few years. Now, of course, that's not $100 million in my pocket because I wouldn't be here right now, right? But we sold $100 million worth of real estate. That's no small accomplishment. If you would have asked me 15 years ago, could I have done that? There's no way, right? I would have not even remotely believed it. But the reality is, I believed in a goal, which was succeeding, making that first sale, then doing, my first 20 transactions, then opening my brokerage, then recruiting teams, then changing my business model. I kept believing in that next goal, and everything kept falling into place. So another thing that I did, some of you might know me from online, is I launched the Brownsville Guy. So in 2010, and this is a stretch even for me, right? But I feel like this building is a manifestation of my belief in this community. In 2010, when social media was just launching and Facebook was just a new thing, I was a real estate agent and I needed to get my name out there. But one thing that really happened is I was in Brownsville and I noticed all you ever heard about Brownsville was negative, right? You go on the national media, it's drugs, crime, human trafficking. My friends, when I moved here, they thought I was moving to a war zone. I'm not even kidding. They're like, dude, you're going to Brownsville? Are you prepared for that? And I'm like, I don't think it's that bad, dude, They're like, okay. So we moved down here, and I noticed that the dominant mindset of our community was very negative. That we had a brain drain. Everybody was leaving, and the people who stayed just hated it here, just complained constantly. And you could never find out about good things. And so in 2010, I launched Brownsville Living. Another thing that I just believed in the good about Brownsville. I just said, Brownsville's a great place. Let's stop looking at the potholes. Some of you guys who've been following me for a while remember the pothole, right? Every time I post something positive, a bunch of people come on and go, but what about the potholes? I'm like, dear God. It became like this, this cliche. Like every time you would say something good about our community, someone would complain about something like the potholes. So that became kind of a narrative, right? And I fought that. And another thing I want to touch on here is worrying too much about what other people think about you. It is not your business what they think. It doesn't matter. Your life is your life, and you need to live it to the best of your ability and project and be who you want to be. At the end of the day, the only person you have to answer to is you and God, right? So if someone criticizes you, which there's a few people here who know I have experienced an inordinate amount of criticism and trolling and angry, ugly people attacking me just because I believed in our community or I had a certain opinion that they didn't agree with. Like, there's a lot of people I don't agree with. I don't attack them. But I spent a lot of years wasting my time worrying about what these haters had to say. And whether you're going to start a business or you're going to start a social media influencer thing or whatever you're going to do, there's always going to be somebody who's going to question you. Oh, are you sure you're ready for that? Have you done the research? Do you have the money? Are you really prepared? They're going to be negative towards you, okay? Don't give them the time of day. Of course, you want to listen to constructive feedback, but be careful about constructive feedback as well, because some people are just cloaking criticism and constructive feedback. At the end of the day, you need to do what you feel is right, focus on that, and be the best person you can be, and ignore the criticism. If there's one huge thing I could tell you right now is don't listen to the critics. I wasted so much of my life trying to prove a critic wrong. And that is really where I am right now, is I have let that go. And it was the most freeing thing. If someone has something negative to say about me, delete, block, bye. If someone comes to me and says, oh, such and such said this about you, why are you telling me that? I don't care. If they didn't say it to me, why do I need to hear it? Why do you need to hear it, or you need to hear it, or you need to hear it if someone has something negative to say about you? It's not your business. And frankly, a friend who brings you commentary like that isn't much of a friend, are they? Why are you telling me negative stuff about me? Why don't you worry about you? And why didn't you defend me when they were saying that stuff? Right? So just go brush it off, as Jay-Z would say, Don't let the negativity get to you. So, in summary, what I would like to say, even though this went way off the rails, which kind of anticipated it probably would. Number one, if you're here today, it's because you want to make relationships and network, build, what did you call it, Daniel? Connections. Meaningful relationships. Do that. Every single person around you has a meaningful. What is that noise?
It's the speaker.
Oh.
It's the microphone in the microphone.
Oh, I have ADD, so it's like.
You can take off the microphone from the microphone. Just like drop it off and you can take it. There you go.
Okay. So every person around you has an opportunity to bring meaningful experiences into your life, right? Don't assess the people by your perceived value, because you don't know what value they have. Every person has an intrinsic value. With my social media experience and what I've learned is you have no idea what kind of awesome things the most random person can bring into your life. Seriously. Like, I'm a huge fan of Charlie Crockett. I love his music. He's from San Benito. If you've never heard of him, check him out. Charlie Crockett. He's actually a great-great-grandson of Davy Crockett. Killer musician, okay? Huge fan. Well, one thing led to another, and he's coming here to San Benito last month, or a month and a half ago, to sing. Super excited. I wanted to meet him. I wanted to get backstage, right? Well, it was a total random connection that got me there. Now, if I hadn't been respectful of that relationship, if I hadn't kind of garnered that relationship and seen it for the positive relationship that it could be, which is how you should see every relationship, I wouldn't have been backstage with Charlie Crockett. So a random connection, right, that to most people would probably be a meaningful, like, passing communication, led to me meeting, like, basically my favorite artist ever. So every relationship you have, you want to nurture it, right? You want to make sure that you treat people positively. Obviously, you don't want negative people in your life. But you should engage with everyone with an open expectation as to what benefits could come from that. Not necessarily just benefits for you, but when I say benefits, I mean general benefits, right? Benefits to them, benefits to you, benefits to society. You never know what can spawn from a relationship. If everything you do is motivated by how you can get better or how you can make money, then guess what? You're not going to win, right? You have to be altruistic and wholesome in your belief that you are here to make the world a better place. If you believe that you're here to make the world a better place, then these things that you want and desire will end up falling into your lap because you look at every person around you as someone of value. You know why? Because they are. Everybody has value. So, in closing, here's the things I want to leave you with. Number one, don't overthink things. Just do it. Number two, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Number three, don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the negative people. They're irrelevant. They bring no value to your life. Everybody here was put on earth for a reason. God brought you here and created you to have an effect on the world. And that's what you'll do. You're like a little, you know that scene from Jurassic Park I always think about, where they're in the Jeep and they're looking at the puddle and the water is shaking, right? There's the ripples. And he talks about the butterfly effect, right? And that, a butterfly flaps its wings in Tokyo and you have a tsunami and whatever on the East Coast, on the West Coast. Your whole life is like that. Your whole life is the butterfly wings. And you drop a rock into water, that creates ripples. Everything you do creates ripples. If you think about it, every single interaction you have every day creates ripples. So what you want to do is create positive ripples and leave a positive. And if you screw up and you make a bad mistake or whatever, okay, you make your peace with God, you apologize to that person, you own that situation, and you move on. We're not the embodiment of our mistakes, right? We are just one single individual that's moving along that is interconnected with every individual around us. And so we just try to do the best we can. And if someone can't forgive you or let you be or whatever, then you just gently move them to the side and keep going, right? So I guess to sum it up, I want you guys to live like you don't care what people think, dance at the wedding, do that post on social media. If you think of a friend that you've missed for a long time, pick up the phone and call them, right? If you think of someone, that means you're supposed to call them. You're supposed to talk to them. And when you engage with someone, be open. Believe that that's going to lead to something positive. And I guess most importantly, be happy. And I guess I wanted to finalize getting back to my bullets. When I started my business, I wanted to just feed my family. Then when I got my business going, I wanted to prove the naysayers wrong. I wanted to prove the haters wrong. I wanted to succeed. I was always trying to compare myself to the other media people or the other real estate brokers and trying to be better than them. Now in the future, now in the present, where I am is, you know what's most important? That I'm happy. I'm not trying to make all the money in the world. I'm not trying to prove to anybody how good I am at real estate or how good I am at social media. I don't care. If one person watches my videos and they like it, great. If 10,000, great. It doesn't matter. If I was worried about someone not liking my content, I wouldn't put it up. So that's where I am in my life, and that's what I encourage you to do is be happy, be authentic. Don't worry about proving anybody wrong. Just be your best self. Live your life, enjoy your life, and enjoy your family time, and be happy because you never know when you won't be here anymore. So that's my speech for today. I hope it was valuable to you guys, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
For those who are new, after the presentations, we usually do student questions. So we're going to have 2 more questions from the audience. So does anyone have any questions for Craig? Yes, right.
You talked about, thank you for your presentation.
You're welcome.
You talked about nurturing connections. I want to know how you go about that. Do you, like, once you meet somebody, do you follow up? Do you, like, schedule time for yourself to reach out to so many people? Because I find myself meeting people, but I think maybe sometimes I have that, like you were talking about people on the phone that already, like, assume that
Insecurity.
that insecurity that they don't want to talk to you. So how do you go about nurturing connections?
Okay, so her question was, how do you go about kind of nurturing those connections you've made with people? You know, first of all, I will say it's different for everybody, right? Everybody's going to have a different pattern, and you're going to establish your own pattern, right? It might be going out and meeting them for coffee. It might be an occasional text, right? The first thing I would lead with in responding to that is, don't be insecure. Don't think, oh, they don't want to talk to me. Or they don't want me there. They don't want me to follow up. That is your own negativity creating a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? I know because I was that guy for a long time. Always thinking that people didn't like me and didn't really want me around. What you have to do is go, I don't care if they don't like me. And if they don't, then it'll resolve itself, right? They won't respond, they'll ghost you or whatever. And you go to the next person. There are, as they say, plenty of fish in the sea, right? There are plenty of people who want to be your friend. There are people right now all around who are your type of person. But if you don't engage with them, then you never learn that. So just follow up. Send them a text. Hey, it was super nice meeting you at the networking thing. You know, if you ever need anything, here's my info. You can follow me on socials, right? And then if you like that person, you want to engage, you know, maybe a follow-up text or say, hey, I'm going to go grab some coffee. Would you like to join me? Right? So, and also follow people. If they're on social, follow them and then like. I wish so many people happy birthdays. It's bananas, right? And, you know, it's like, wish them happy birthday. Ask them questions. When you're engaging on social, if, let's say, Rosie went on a trip and she's at, you know, Disney World, don't just hit like. Say, hey, Rosie, did you go by the Princess Palace? Right? So that creates an engagement that shows that you care about them. And then most likely they're going to respond, right? And so now you're creating a relationship, which is what you were talking about, which is the kind of mindful development of connections, right? But you want to be genuine about it. Don't just ask somebody questions just to like make sure you're checking it off on a checklist. You want to do it because you actually do care. Oh my gosh, I went to Disney World. I had this awesome experience. I want to make sure they catch that. You also want to ask a question, not a statement, because a question fosters further engagement, right? So did that answer your question? Awesome. Okay.
One last question. Over there.
You went back to the haters, right? The naysayers. So the word hater is quitter. So a quitter becomes a hater. We call those quitter bitch. Not, you know, quitter bitch is a bitch like always complaining about the nonsense.
Yeah.
We call those quitter bitch.
Oh, well, there you go. He's talking a little bit about haters and they're quitters. And yeah, I mean, there's plenty of haters out there. One thing I saw that was interesting is, I would encourage you guys, side note, if you don't follow inspirational people on TikTok, do it. It changed my life. Like, I just started, like, one person popped in my thread, and I, like, liked and commented, then another one. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all this, like, inspirational content. Like, people come on going, you are awesome. I'm like, fuck yeah. I am awesome, right? Follow those people. But regarding, what was the point was the haters. Haters, right? You never see people that are more successful than you hating on you. The people that are more successful than you either let's be honest, don't notice you, right? Or they're the ones saying positive stuff, right? Because they know what it takes to get there. The haters are the ones who are sitting in mommy's basement. They got nothing going on. They live their life in a negative space, and hopefully one day they'll come out, right? But they're looking at your success or your visibility or whatever it is about you, and they're going to criticize you. And they're quitters. And I hate to think negatively about other people, but you know the best thing to do with someone who is a hater is remove them from your life. As soon as I used to because I'm a huge believer in free speech, and I used to let my detractors on all my pages, and they would just dump on me and attack me constantly because they want to get a rise out of me. Because let's be honest, they're a loser and I'm not. And so when I engage with them, it makes them feel bigger, right? So you know what you do? You don't give them a minute, a second of your time. As soon as someone is dogging me out, if I sense a little hateration, delete, block, gone. And it's funny, they go create new profiles and they follow me again. It's like, I know it's you, but you're being cool, so I'm going to let you in my kingdom, right? You know, so I would like to see if there's any other questions, if you don't mind, just a minute. One more question?
We'll do one last because we are in that time crunch.
One more? Anything? Okay, good deal. All right, Daniel, you ready for the mic?
Thank you so much. That was a great
The mic,
presentation.
make sure it doesn't fall off.
No worries, you're good. Let's cut it.